Hey, it's Jordan with Status Coup. The Elon Musk Twitter purge has begun, and he's been sued over it. Let's show you what's going on as Twitter employees begin to get notices that they have been fired. Today, this from the New York Times. Elon Musk begins layoffs at Twitter. Social media company's 7,500 employees have been bracing for job cuts since Mr. Musk took it over last week. Elon Musk began laying off Twitter employees on Friday, culling the social media services 7,500 person workforce for a little over a week after completing his blockbuster buyout. Twitter employees were notified in a company-wide email that the layoffs were set to begin, according to a copy of the messages seen by the New York Times. Workers were instructed to go home and not go to the offices on Friday as the cuts proceed. The message, which came from a generic address and was signed Twitter, did not detail the total number of layoffs. Quote, in an effort to place Twitter on a healthy path, we will go through the difficult process of reducing our global workforce. The email said, we recognize that this will impact the number of individuals who have made valuable contributions to Twitter, but this action is unfortunately necessary to ensure the company's success moving forward. About half of Twitter's workers appeared set to lose their jobs, according to previous internal messages and an investor, though the final count may take time to become clear. As the email landed in employee inboxes on Thursday evening, workers posted salute emojis and heart emojis in Slack, the messaging service. Later in the evening, some employees said they had lost access to the company's system, a possible prelude to being laid off. So, yeah, Elon laying off half the workforce a couple days before the midterm elections. What can go wrong, right? That point in a Guardian article was illustrated. Experts in misinformation and civil rights advocates have warned that cutting Twitter staff just days before midterm elections in the U.S. could have grave consequences, as the platform has already struggled with content moderation and will now have fewer resources. Quote, with the horrific attack on Paul Pelosi, we only just witnessed how social media conspiracy theories can result in real-world violence. Yet Musk is dangerously speedrunning through the process, said Sasha Howarth, executive director at the Tech Oversight Project. This point is important because there have been reports out there that Donald Trump, his allies, are already planning to contest the election in Pennsylvania for the Senate if John Fetterman wins. I would venture to guess that there's going to be efforts by Republicans in other states. If it's close, if the Democrats win in a close margin, think Georgia with Raphael Warnock, Mandela Barnes possibly in Wisconsin over Ron Johnson, Blake Masters in Arizona if he loses by a narrow margin to Mark Kelly, and J.D. Vance and Tim Ryan in Ohio. All of these are pretty much margin of error or Democrats slightly leading, some of them Republicans slightly leading. But we know that the Republicans have enlisted an army of poll watchers to observe the elections. You have militiamen standing outside mail-in drop-off areas in Arizona, which a court just ruled blocking them from doing so. These elections in most swing states are very close, particularly in the Senate, and reports have said that the Republicans plan to contest any of them where a Republican loses, even if by a decent margin. So now Twitter is cutting, I guess, over half of its staff, many of whom deal with content moderation. So there's going to be a huge platform now for these election lies to spread, and in my view, possibly lead to more violence. So this is a bad situation. I do believe the quote unquote refereeing of misinformation has gone too far in a lot of cases. But in terms of the election lies, this has real life consequences when you're laying off half of your staff and therefore your resources to try and get rid of some of this cesspool during a critical election time is removed. You're not going to have as much staff to deal with that. And therefore, a lot of unhinged people are going to basically see a 4chan light on Twitter right before the midterm elections. This is not a good situation. Let's show you this, I think, sums it up. Elon Musk's offer to buy Twitter was so outlandishly high that A, Twitter's old board couldn't say no, B, Musk himself couldn't afford it, and C, it damned the entire company to significant debt and massive layoffs. Every part of this deal has been and continues to be stupid. Some of the dumbest things in business have been done in the name of maximizing shareholder value. Half of the company is being laid off tomorrow because Musk wanted to round up his offer to a wee joke number and then signed a binding contract with a specific performance clause like a clown and gave the board no choice but to accept the deal and then sue to enforce. Yeah. And Elon Musk, as he's laying off over half the staff of Twitter, tweets out this morning, Twitter has had a massive drop in revenue due to activist groups pressuring advertisers, even though nothing has changed with content moderation, and we did everything we could to appease the activists. Extremely messed up. They're trying to destroy free speech in America. I'd venture to guess there's a different reason that advertisers are fleeing, possibly because for the last week since he's bought Twitter, Elon Musk has been tweeting like a drunken 16-year-old. He has pushed conspiracy theories, particularly about the attack on Paul Pelosi that he then deleted without comment. Remember, he posted a conspiracy blog that years ago said Hillary Clinton was actually dead and it was a body double that was debating in her stead. He shared that on Twitter and then after much outcry, deleted it. He's also responding to election deniers on Twitter. I'll show you this one. As Twitter CEO, Elon Musk continues to validate and promote far-right election deniers. So Tom Fitton, Elon Musk, left have countless billions, government entities, media, and NGOs focus like a laser on ensuring big tech and government suppress and censor online speech. Conservatives have a few social media accounts and a handful of groups fighting for online free speech. Yeah, you also have Fox News, Newsmax, et cetera, to push your misinformation. Elon responds, that assessment is more accurate than most people realize. If you want to know about Tom Fitton, presidential election irredeemably compromised. So he's an election denier. More on that. Benny Johnson, LOL, AOC thinks Elon Musk is messing with her Twitter app. Elon, what can I say? It's a naked abuse of power. The Benny Show, promoting Dinesh D'Souza's bullshit election denial documentary. So Elon has been responding quite favorably to kind of big lie people on Twitter. All of this is happening. Twitter was just sued for this Friday purge of Twitter layoffs. Twitter sued over Elon Musk's layoff plan. Twitter was sued on Thursday over Elon Musk's plan to cut as many as 3,700 jobs at the company. The class action lawsuit filed by 5 current or former employees alleges that Twitter violated federal and state laws that require at least 60 days notice of a mass layoff. It references the Federal Worker Adjustment and Retraining Notification Act, which requires a 60-day notice for closings on or mass terminations. A California law with the same name also requires 60-day notice. One of the plaintiffs was told his firing was effective immediately on Tuesday, according to the lawsuit. 3 others say they have been locked out of their Twitter accounts since Thursday without a formal layoff notice. Plaintiffs are very concerned that Twitter will continue these layoffs without providing the requisite notice. The lawsuit reads, the plaintiffs are asking the court to declare that Twitter is violating both laws and stop the company from soliciting employees to sign separation agreements that would prevent them from joining the lawsuit. Twitter told employees on Thursday that they should expect to see an email in their inbox Friday about whether or not they had been fired. Sources confirmed to Axios that the layoff plan would be announced to employees on Friday, who could learn their own fates in follow-up emails. Musk wanted to conduct layoffs last week, shortly after taking over Twitter. And I read that actually this law in California, it could actually have produce civil penalties of $500 a day per day that this continues in terms of the layoffs of employees. For Elon Musk, probably dropping the bucket. So what does he care about violating labor law? Go ask Tesla employees how much Elon Musk cares about labor law. Obviously, this is chaos. what's going on at Twitter. Listen, like I said, in many cases, I think content moderation has gone too far. I think on Twitter, it's gone too far in terms of, for some tweets, you get these trigger warnings. This might be offensive to you, blah, blah, blah. I think that's unnecessary. I think in certain cases, people who have been banned shouldn't have been banned, as vile or stupid as what they said or did was. But in the case of these election lies, we have seen what happens if these election lies spread uninhibited all over social media. January 6th happens. January 6th, in large part, happened, yes, because of Trump, but these lies were able to spread full speed all over social media. You have Elon Musk cutting off half of Twitter staff, a lot of which is content moderation, as there likely is going to be mass lies spreading after these elections if Republicans lose in some of these swing states. So having basically no content moderation at all on Twitter, which there probably won't be, as these lies are spreading, as Trump is pushing these lies, as Fox News is pushing these lies after the midterms, if Republicans lose in some of these swing states, let's say by a point or two, the problem is it's going to lead to violence. I don't think that's too dramatic, considering we just had somebody break into the Pelosi's home, knock Paul Pelosi out to an inch of his life with a hammer, and he was pushing on his blogs, David DePape, lies about the elections, lies about COVID, lies about January 6th. So we've already seen violence is happening. We've already seen an FBI office be shot at after Trump's Mar-a-Lago raid. Obviously, we've seen January 6th. So for the free speech absolutists out there who think there should be zero content moderation and just let it rip, well, Elon Musk is about to let it rip. So we'll see what happens. But obviously, this is chaos as far as Twitter. Obviously, Elon Musk didn't really think it through what his business plan for Twitter would be. I don't really think just laying off half the staff is going to lead to growth at Twitter. I'm pretty sure most people are not going to pay the $8 a month that Elon Musk wants for a blue check next to their name and some special features. If Elon Musk tries to move Twitter more to a subscription type service, I think that's going to be a disaster. So we'll continue following the chaos of Elon Musk's Twitter.